Hey all, here at OS Reviews. Today we're taking a closer look at the 8Bitdo SF30 Pro Bluetooth gamepad or gaming controller. 8Bitdo have gained a reputation over the past few years of making pretty solid controllers for all types of systems, and the SF30 has been a very popular line, but finally today we're getting a closer hands-on at it to see how it stacks up. Now the controller itself sells for around 50 bucks. What gives it more of a charm is the design that's really trying to imitate an older kind of retro controller as well in its shape and form factor, but looks very clean. It charges using a modern USB Type-C, offers a vibration motor, so it gives you rumble and kind of shock as you're playing back compatible games. It's a universal controller that works with many systems. This one in particular, the SF30 Pro, it will work with the Switch, Nintendo Switch, Windows systems, as well as macOS, Steam, Android devices, and even Raspberry Pi. And a charge will last you for up to 16 hours of gameplay. And underneath the controller itself, we have some quick shortcuts that tells you what all the keys correspond to, a quick user manual. We also have the USB Type-C charging cable. Controller itself feels really nice in terms of the weight in the hand. It's comfortable, doesn't feel too light or plasticky, still has a nice kind of density to it. They're coated with a soft touch rubber material that provides some traction as you're holding it and does feel really smooth and responsive. At the top here we have the Type-C port for charging, a connect kind of reset key. We have the shoulder keys, which include 2 layers, and then this is what it looks like on the back. So pretty good construction quality, and again, feels comfortable enough for something like this when you're holding it with both of your hands. Still pretty compact and slim compared to controllers back in the day. So here it is next to an Android smartphone. This one has a 5-inch display, so you can see it's still kind of easy to take with you, put it into a pocket or into a backpack. However, you can also use it as a wired controller. So in the wired mode, all you need to do is plug in the Type-C, plug the other end into your phone, or connect it to your computer. You can also have it a Type-A port, of course, and afterwards it's just plug and play, as you can see here, if you don't want to use Bluetooth when binding it. So the process is, again, pretty simple. Everything is fully operational, working pretty smoothly. So here's a sample game. We see the controls are fully functional, but in case they aren't, you can also remap them, typically under your game's settings. Again, it's a pretty enjoyable experience to be able to play without obstructing parts of your display, and the latency, even in the Bluetooth wireless mode, is still very responsive. The controller feels pretty fluid as you're using it. It feels very ergonomic in your hands compared to holding a rectangular slab, which is your regular smartphone. Although it goes without saying that this will work best for games that rely on D-pad or controls, perhaps if you're playing back a racing game or something like a retro arcade game, an emulation game if you're playing back Pokemon, for instance. It doesn't work as well, of course, if your smartphone has a touch-based game. By the way, here is a quick look connected to a Raspberry Pi powered Retro Pi emulator device. And again, connected using Bluetooth, everything is functional, working exactly as advertised, and actually mapped really well in terms of compatibility without even reprogramming anything. Bluetooth connection allows you to sit a distance away up to 10 meters or 33 feet. So you can be on a couch, for instance, and the TV can be pretty far away. The motors, in terms of the vibration, also is effective in games which support it, such as when you're connecting for the first time even, it kind of shakes a little bit to give you confirmation, kind of like a tactile sensation, and it adds a little bit more to the immersiveness of the game. So that's more or less it as far as our quick hands-on look at the 8Bitdo gamepad, the SF30 Pro. Overall, again, working really well in terms of giving us a fairly authentic looking style in terms of the design. Reminds you of kind of retro controllers back in the day, but also is pretty well constructed in terms of how it feels. Very solid, has a nice weight. All the keys and buttons feel very tactile without any sticking, and they have a nice amount of depth of travel and feedback without getting too irritating. Comfortable for hours of gameplay, making it a great companion that's easy to take with you when on the road if you want to get a more ergonomic gameplay experience, regardless of if you're using your smartphone, your Nintendo Switch, which is an awesome fit, or using some other system like Raspberry Pi or your computer. So you can check out more details if you're looking for a controller that is universal, works with any device, and has a pretty cute style. That's been our hands-on look. Thanks for watching here at OS Reviews. This has been the 8-Bitdo gamepad, the SF30 Pro.